just like it was then in the early 80s. Now it's exactly the same. In fact, it's ironic because we're going into this big recession, which was happening then. You know, the whole culture thing is, for me, it's strange because there's this big gap you can just chop out my life. And now I'm back where I was there. I'm here now. I'm a bit older. I'm still 23 in my head. And the material we're writing now is better than it was then.
Human error in every eye, the human fault in every day.
You can do the talking. You can do the talking.
Yeah, no, you man.
There's human life that's just in reach, and then there's real life that's out of touch. Outside there is a ticking bomb. Inside there is a dying man. There's no one moving. No one's talking. No one's thinking. Nothing is moving. And would it hurt to just put it down? Would it hurt to just let it go? There's not enough light inside that room. There's not enough time to think it through. There's no one moving. No one's thinking. No one's talking. Nothing is moving. The human error in every eye, the human fault in every day. And would it hurt to just put it down? Would it hurt to just let it go? There's not enough light inside that room. There's not enough time to think it through. There's no one moving. No one's talking. No one's thinking. Nothing is moving.
It's like a light switched off and then switched back on. There's only probably three songs in this set that are the old songs. The rest of it's all brand new. We've written an albums with the material, all new. Since Jarvis did the Meltdown with us.
We did 2 or 3 gigs just playing a lot of different selections of the old material, and we decided that if we were going to carry on, we had to write
new material, and we have. How do you get record companies interested in it? How do you release it? How do you get across, to a massive market? The punk thing had just happened in like late 70s into the early 80s. Everything broke open. Now we're doing the same thing, writing new material. It's probably stronger than we did then. It got massive acclaim in the music press, Melody Maker. Steve Sutherland loved us. He's now editor of the NME. But how do you get across now? What happens now?
There's some great bands around, like down here now, playing at the underground sort of level. And like a lot of the bands that played with us, we sort of cherry-picked some bands that I'd heard. And they're just really exciting. There's this real sort of new buzz for that same kind of genre, really.
What's happening in the music business? It was like in the late 70s when punk happened, opened all those floodgates to what was bubbling underneath in creativity. It's like that now. But how will it happen again? Will people just start writing? It's happening now, slowly but surely. One guy said, "Are you going to write any new material?" 2/3 of that set were brand new. We've written that in the last 18 months, And really, I thought that was all old stuff. We've got a catalogue of old stuff, 4 albums worth of material. But we chose to write new material because that's what you do. If you're in a band, you don't just sit on what you've done in the past, you write brand new stuff. And that's the difference with what we're doing now, 2 years later since Meltdown. We're writing still. We've got probably more than an album's worth of new material.
And I feel
that's
like
what it's about. It's about creating and writing. That's what young bands do. Go out and write. Everybody gets together, write. Fucking hell. The society we're living in is in a mess. And we're kind of art political because I write lyrically, instinctively from an artistic perspective, but also you can't be helped by being influenced by the political. Because there's so much going on.
as we were
as it
first
was
time
then.
round,
Yeah, it's like, what's going on here? I just wish I was 23 again.
One of too many midsummer cases. Shut up at the time of the day of heightened emotion. They don't know what it's like, the blue hour between daylight and darkness. It's such a pure quality of light. Smell of the flowers are their strongest. When landscapes look so bright. Looking for the 3rd page. She was here for some softcore photo shots. Respecting the rule of thirds. And avoiding any red eye effect. Is à contre-jour silhouette. Made of digital black and white. No one would make the link between a killer and this mysterious F number. I'm a crime scene photographer, and I couldn't almost recognize her. Hard for me to process on my aperture. Adjustment of the iris for a nice picture. His heart was black. And now her body is blue. call it Blue Hour. Has never been so true. That is why I had the intuition that the killer and I had the same profession.
We try, because we're only two, and we try to keep it quite minimal if we can. We get like, sometimes, you know, you see a lot of bands who try maybe sometimes to make like noise. Noise is great, we love noise too, you know, we can be quite noisy, but sometimes we like to keep some space out of the music, you know. I think like bands like Prince on Dance School, for example, we're only two, we try to make like the most noise we can.
I've found recently that playing and having to get around on your own and carrying your own equipment has been a massive influence. It has a lot of influence in our music. So for instance, you would think about how you can get something like a drum beat that's good, that's not boring and repetitive, that you can just carry on your pocket, you know what I mean? So that's a massive fact. I think it's not a hindrance, I think it's not an advantage, but it certainly has an effect that otherwise you wouldn't get with a proper full-size band, I think.
I started the project Table Manners with another friend who sadly, you know, how life is sometimes, he has to leave London. So Ruiz is a colleague of mine, we know each other from work, and we started as runner in a media company and stuff, and straight away we started to talk music, and asked him like, 5 months ago if he wanted to join me for the adventure. So now we played live, quite a back catalogue songs, but we plan now to make a little break in terms of live shows. And I mean, we didn't play much live, but we plan now to try to get like our own music, because it's great. He was like helping me out playing live, but I'm sure that Luis would love to play a bit of his creations too. So we're gonna try to.
Well, I come from more sort of rock and roll and that kind of thing, so it's really interesting to all of a sudden, instead of having a whole band behind you, just literally put all your stuff in the PA, have one guy with his laptop. It's really interesting. It's something I would never have done out of.
How are you finding adapting to it?
I think it's great. It was difficult at first. Little things like not having an amp and putting everything to you don't realise that you can't hear the source. Do you know what I mean? Everything's going through the PA. But I think it's really interesting. And again, you know, it's the fact that you can just do a gig anywhere as long as there's a couple of speakers. You sort it. You don't need loads of equipment, which is great.
When you're in the London scene, you have to adapt yourself. You can't. You can't, in terms of whatever it is, in terms of songwriting or in terms of production of your music. You know, it's really funny. I saw a band yesterday. They were amazing, really. I don't give any name, but I just said to my colleague, they're great, but they saw 2005, and I'm not any kind of hypester or anything, but it's just the reality is the truth about music in London. You have to keep it updated all the time if you really want to sell your music well around. Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to adapt to a certain extent. At the same time, no one ever made any lasting impression by jumping on the bandwagon.
Your vision stained by what you saw. Too self-contained to become pure. Just close your eyes and you will see the colors bleed from you to me. It's telepathic what you believe. Telepathic. Your vision stained. Your vision stained. Your vision stained. Telepathic. What you believe. Thanks a lot.
But I usually just come out with an idea and then it can take ages to like refine it. So I'm not even sure what it is I'm trying to do. So it's kind of a process of getting rid of stuff that I don't like. I don't know, it really varies because then sometimes I can just come up with something and record it in a day, or like there's some tracks that still aren't finished after 2 years. So I still just kind of listen. I mean, I do listen to some current bands and stuff, but a lot of it's just kind of trawling over the same stuff I've listened to. You know what I mean? Like obvious shit, like Cure or Loop and like Pink Floyd and stuff, and Pill, and that just seems to remain the main sort of influences or whatever. Well, one thing that's definitely different, I think, is I wouldn't say it's necessarily more melodic, but the first album was really drony, like all in one chord kind of thing. And then some of the new material, actually it wouldn't have sounded like it tonight, but some of it's got more chord changes, and so I'm trying to make it a bit more complex. I mean, I haven't been striving to make it more complex, but I don't know, I'm actually trying to push it a bit more fucked up sounding, a bit more
out there, but also to get the beauty and some more kind of fragility in there, as opposed to just being heavy, psychedelic or whatever.
Blindfold, you stand naked on the outside of the camp. The night holds no sound except the sound of light from the lamp. Inside your head there's a quiet scream. There's no more room for pain.